The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark.
Glory to you, O Lord.
When the Pharisees, with some scribes who had come from Jerusalem, gathered around Jesus, they observed that some of his disciples ate their meals with unclean, that is, unwashed hands. For the Pharisees, and in fact all Jews, do not eat without carefully washing their hands, keeping the tradition of the elders. And on coming from the marketplace, they do not eat without purifying themselves. And there are many other things that they have traditionally observed. The purification of cups and jugs and kettles and beds. So the Pharisees and scribes questioned him, "Why do your disciples not follow the tradition of the elders, but instead eat a meal with unclean hands?" He responded, "Well, did Isaiah prophesy about you hypocrites? As it is written, this people honors me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. In vain do they worship me, teaching as doctrines human precepts. You disregard God's commandment, but cling to human tradition." He summoned the crowd again and said to them, "Hear me, all of you, and understand. Nothing that enters one from outside can defile that person, but the things that come out from within are what defile. From within people, from their hearts, come evil thoughts, unchastity, theft, murder, adultery, greed, malice, deceit, licentiousness, envy, blasphemy, arrogance, folly. All these evils come from within, and they defile." My dear friends, the Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Please be seated.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat, sa lahat na patuloy na nakikiisa sa pagdiriwang ng misa dito sa Minor Basilica of Our Lady of the Rosary of Manaoag. Magandang umaga po. I know most of you ay nakapunta na sa airport. And when nasa airport ka, kahit ganitong pandemya, pero even before, no? Lalong-lalo na before the pandemic, the airport is a busy place. Diba? Pagbaba mo pa lang sa sasakyan at pipila ka, habang nakagad ng pila, everybody seems to be doing something every time. Sa immigration, yung mga gwardiya, pagka nakita mo yung eroplano, merong nag-aakyat ng mga bagahe, merong nagbababa, merong naglalagay ng gasolina. It's a busy place. And everybody seems to be doing something at any given time, at any given moment. But every time na merong maglaland na eroplano, it seems you can feel that most of the attention, most of the energy ay focused doon sa isang eroplano na maglalanding o kaya eroplano na magti-take off. It seems that all the energy is focused on that, on the safety. And I remember that story because yung focus doon sa iisang eroplano at a given point in time, yun ang tinatawag nila na wildly important goal or WIG. Sa management, yung mga nasa management dito naiintindihan yun. At any given moment, merong isang napaka-importante, the wildly important goal. But everything is important. Lahat po ay mahalaga doon. But at that point, lahat ng energy, halos lahat ng energy, lahat ng focus ay doon sa eroplanong bababa, maglaland, looking after the safety of that plane and of the passengers, the wildly important goal. The WIG or the goal keeps our main goal in sight while also considering the smaller goals. Yung mga maliliit na ginagawa doon sa airport, importante pa rin po yun. No? What we have our ultimate goal and we have our small goals. Yung ganun pong paghahalimbawa ay maaari ring maihalin tulad sa ating buhay. Meron tayong main goal sa buhay. O, ano yung main goal ninyo sa buhay? Anong gusto ninyo? No? Even when we were kids, we were always asked that question, ano gusto mong maging? No? Anong pinaka-main goal mo sa buhay? It seems that it has been ingrained in us ever since na bata tayo. Ano yung pinaka-main goal mo sa buhay? No? And yet along the way, we seem to forget it. We seem to forget the main goal. And then focus all our attention doon sa mga maliliit na mga goals. Importante rin, but maliliit na goals sa ating buhay. In today's gospel reading, we are confronted by the importance ng batas sa ating buhay. In a gist, laws are important, but the laws are not our wildly important goal. Lahat, paglabas mo ng bahay, halos lahat ay may batas. Di ba, no? Mag-drive ka sa expressway, pagpasok mo pa lang sa toll gate, nakalagay na doon kung ano yung speed limit. And along the way, may mga reminders. Buckle up, no? Put your seatbelt, no? And then every now and then, i-remind ka uli. 100 kilometers per hour lang, 80 kilometers per hour. Rules sa buhay natin. Pagpasok nyo dito sa simbahan, ano yung bumungad sa inyo? Rules and regulations, health protocol. Kaya nga ganyan pa rin ang pagkakaupo ninyo. And our ushers would be very diligent in putting you into your own seat places. No? Rules. But if we simply look at the laws for the sake of following the law, we miss the point. Diba? The laws in the expressway are meant to keep us safe, ligtas. The rules, the health protocols here, tedious siyang i-implement, but we're not keeping our foot off the gas in implementing this. It's meant to keep all those who come here safe. But it's not the end-all and be-all. It is meant to keep you safe. Make no mistake about it, nakakapagod magpa-implement ng mga ganitong protocols. But we continue because we have your best, your health, your safety in our hearts. Ganon din po, sa binasa nating Ebanghelyo, the Lord is complaining. No? It seems that people, the Pharisees, are so much focused on the detalye, on the rules, on something that is the small aspect and following the law, that they have missed the whole meaning of why there are laws and why there are batas. Merong kasabihan tayo sa English na that when we focus so much on the trees, we miss the forest. They have mistaken the trees for the forest. The laws are there in order for us, hopefully, to see the big picture. And that is, what is the big picture? Yung big picture po, yun po yung nilalaman ng mga pagbasa natin sa araw na ito. Sa unang pagbasa, we again encounter Moses saying, para sa ano itong mga batas na itinatag noong panahon niya? Simple, it is meant to keep us along the path of goodness and keep us close to Yahweh. That was the end goal of the 10 Commandments, to keep us along the path of righteousness and therefore keep us close to God. It's not simply the following of the 10 Commandments. We can memorize it. Mula pa pagkabata sa katikism ninyo, no? Recite the 10 Commandments, no? Ilan ang patungkol sa Diyos, ilan patungkol sa kapwa. Di ba yung mga ganoon? It's not, no? It's not just that. It should not end there. And even in the responsorial psalm, ang ganda po ng responsorial psalm. Ano nakalagay doon sa responsorial psalm? In the responsorial psalm, it goes this way. to do justice, to live in the presence of God. To do justice not for justice sake, but to be able to live in the presence of God. It is only by doing justice that we will be able to have the courage, we will be able to have the right na mamuhay sa harapan ng Diyos. Ang ganda, no? Not for justice sake, no? But to be able to live sa presensya ng Panginoon. Doon sa pangalawang pagbasa, I call this, do not lip sync. Sapagkat yung sa pangalawang pagbasa, we are being reminded not only to be hearers of the law, but to be doers of it. In other words, there has to be a sync. Nakakita na po ba kayo ng nagli-lip sync na wala sa kumpas? Iba yung lumalabas doon sa audio, saka sa pagbuka ng bunganga. Ganon yung nangyayari kapag hindi magkatugma ang batas at saka doon sa goal kung bakit ilinagay yung mga batas na ito. Out of sync. Maganganga ko rito, pero iba yung naririnig ninyo. Hindi nakasync. Again, the reminder is to sync what comes out of our mouth, of our lips, to what is being, what our hearts are beating for. In sync. Sa Ebanghelyo, the Lord is very direct. And how do we do that? By putting the heart in the right place. Noong high school po, meron kaming book review. Ang libro ay The Little Prince. Little Prince, and then meron doong part that we were asked to memorize. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly, because what is invisible, what is essential is invisible to the eye. The heart, if the heart is in the right place, it can see correctly and put things into its own proper place and perspective. Sa Ebanghelyo, sabi ng Panginoon, it is not that what comes in that makes a man impure. It is what comes out of our lips. Because what comes out of our lips, hopefully, is also something that comes out of our hearts. Kaya kapag hindi magkatugma, we hear the Lord reminding us, you hypocrites. You give me praise with your lips, but your heart far away from me. Kailangan magkatugma. Handa, no? Kaya yung batas, it's a heuristic device. It's an instrument. It's a law. Not for the sake of following the law, but for something that is more divine, something that is more important. Remember, the laws are made for man, and not man for the law. The laws are made, the laws of God are made to keep us close to Him, to keep our hearts beating with Him, in Him, and for Him. O, matanong kayo ulit. Ano ba ang wildly important goal ninyo sa buhay?